What's up, Metal4Metal Universe? We're here for episode 41 of a killer episode of Metal4Metal today. Not a whole lot of news, guys. We're gonna be
we're gonna fucking wing it.
We're gonna wing the shit out of this episode, guys. So stick around because it's gonna be an interesting one. We got a little bit of news for you, but mostly we're just gonna be rambling about the new music that we've discovered, some new kind of shit that we are gonna be throwing out. Plus, Dennis is going to bitch about my top 50 Metallica horrible. Songs. I'm going to give you guys the algorithm of how I'm going to do it and all this shit. And it's going to be a good time. It's all here. It's all fast. It's all winging here on Metal4Metal. What is up, Metal4Metal Universe? I'm PJ Steve, and I'm here with Dennis Parker, and we are here to bring you another killer episode of Metal4Metal. I'm pretty excited for this one because we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We don't know what we're doing. We're doing a little bit of news.
Sometimes we have kind of a guidance, you know, kind of like a path that we're going to take, and we don't have.
We have no path. We have like a couple of news.
See, already you got
Too much slave to the grind, which I fucking love that record, but.
Anyway, okay, so one of my ex-girlfriends who's like 15 years old, I let her listen to this.
You dated a 15-year-old?
I did when I was 16, and so it wasn't illegal. And she said this was an Aerosmith ripoff band.
Skid Row?
Was it exactly
Aerosmith? Why?
Because she said this sounds exactly Aerosmith. I kind of hear it. She's like, you guys sound just like Aerosmith.
No, that first record was heavy for '89, like in the hair metal days.
Well, not.
Oh, you're talking about just Slave to the Grind. Oh, you're talking about. I thought you meant like just Skid Row.
No, not Skid Row in general. I meant Slave to the Grind. We actually went to the store, bought Slave to the Grind. We listened to it in the car ride home. She was like, "These guys sound just like Aerosmith." I kind of
I can hear it in this song, kind of. I guess maybe that you mentioned that. I'm gonna go back and listen to this more and really talk about the Aerosmith. Huh? What do you guys think? Have you guys heard Steven Tyler and Sebastian Bach?
To this episode.
I mean, that's a good story.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a decent story. I do want to mention real quick. We have discovered some. Well, I have discovered some really good new music. First thing I want to talk about is a band called ASG. They're from fucking North Carolina, from Wilmington, North Carolina. Kind of thrashy. They sound a little bit like radio rock, but they're actually not bad. I'm gonna pull up their new record that just dropped. I think about a week ago. Really good stuff. Like I said, from North Carolina. They have a couple records out, but this is Survive Sunrise. Pretty good shit. But their name ASG, it stands for Amplification of Self-Gratification. And it's kind of weird, but they're not bad. ASG is really good shit. Their first one...
That's an interesting name.
Yeah, their first record sounds really polished, but everything after that sounds just really raw, and I really like it. But the most important thing that I've discovered is a band called Suotana, something like that. Either way, they're death metal from Finland, and they're really good.
Where did you hear them at?
Actually, I was invited to like their page from them on Facebook.
They sent you a request.
Just like an invite, like, hey, like this page or whatever. Like, not like to be friends or any bullshit like that. They probably like sent.
So they don't want to be your friend. They just want to listen to the music.
Well, I heard them too because it was like, if you like Children of Bodom, you'll like this, and I'm a big Children of Bodom fan.
Okay.
And I like this shit. Their record that came out is called The Land of the Ending Time. Yeah. The single off the record is called Into the Ice. That's what we listened to earlier. There's a music video out. Again, Suotana. It's Suotana. Really good shit. I'm a big fan of this band now. I've been jamming that record for the past couple weeks, so I'm really into it. Check them out, most definitely. Have you discovered any music so far in this month?
Nothing too crazy. I was listening to a lot of Give Me Radio, which is what I'm
still been trying to listen to that.
I always listen to that now, so every now and then I hear some shit that I've never heard before. Been listening to a lot of Saxon. For whatever reason, they've been playing a lot of Saxon.
Is it because of the new record?
The new record is amazing.
It is really good.
Their old stuff is also amazing. So, been listening to a lot of that. But yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. Just the usual kind of thrash metal stuff.
Well, you know what? We haven't got a chance to talk about the Slayer concert.
Right. How was it?
Testament was very underwhelming. They only played like 20 minutes.
Is that why they were underwhelming?
Yes, yes. Only because, but their set list was awesome. They played the Preacher. They never play the Preacher.
Right.
And that was awesome. I think it was the only time I've ever seen them where they didn't play Practice What You Preach too. They played the Preacher. They played. They opened with Brotherhood of the Snake. They played Rise Up, Into the Pit, the Preacher, Low, and I can't remember what they ended with. Behemoth was Out of This World.
They played Low.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Out of a 20-minute set list, they played Low.
Exactly. It was good stuff.
Very interesting. From an album that sold nothing.
Nothing.
And they played Low.
Cool. But it got a huge
like
crowd reaction. Like, it was nuts. People want the deep. People want the deep cuts.
Low's a good song.
Behemoth was great. I was really excited to see them because they're the one band I haven't seen out of those 5 that played. So they put on a hell of a show. Really good shit. Of course, guys, I do want to mention, usually I brag about getting the set list and getting a bunch of shit. I got lawn tickets for this for this event, so I was the front row in the lawn.
Did it rain on you like you thought it would?
It did not rain. It did not rain. It did not rain blood. Although during Slayer said it was lightning, and that was awesome.
That's metal.
It was very awesome. I did get a new phone, so I was actually able to take some decent pictures this time, so I'm still talking about Slayer. I'll show you some shit up there, but yeah, Behemoth was good. Anthrax was awesome as usual. They played 2 songs that they didn't play when I saw them, which was cool. They played I Am the Law, and they didn't play that when we got to see them last time with Killswitch Engage.
How long did Anthrax play for?
Longer, like an hour.
Wow, really?
Yeah, Behemoth got like 45 minutes too, I think.
Okay.
And then
how long did Lamb of God play?
Like an hour and a half.
Really? So they played a long time.
Let me get this off my chest. I'm not a big Lamb of God fan. They're heavy, and that's cool. Everyone loses their shit off like Ashes or Awake, like that's their big record. I don't give a shit about Lamb of God. Although I will say, Randy Blythe is a hell of a front man, and the Adler brothers are crazy talented. I'm just not a big fan of their music. I like Burn the Priest, their '99 record that they did, and their new cover record that just came out was good. But I don't know. We're gonna change our name because we don't. I don't know. If they would have kept it with Burn the Priest, I think I would have liked them a little bit more.
So you think you would have liked their music because of their name?
No, that doesn't have a whole lot to do with it because I still wouldn't have liked their music even if they would have kept their name. But I think it would have been a nice little nudge to keep.
I would say Burn the Priest is a better name.
Yeah, but I mean it's just weird to me that why they changed their name. But it wouldn't have mattered why I don't like their music. Like I said, they're all talented. I just don't really like them. There's a lot of they're fucking more talented than me. I just don't really like them. That's all it is.
I will say Ashes Awake is a perfect album. But so how was
okay? Seeing Slayer,
right? Slayer.
Play because we saw him with Testament and Carcass, and that was a great set list. Right. It was all fantastic. But this was out of this world, man. They played shit that they never played. They played Payback. They played Blood Red. They played Postmortem. I mean, so much shit.
So they played some deep cuts. Huh?
They did. Lauren, my girl was telling me, she was like, they probably just played what they wanted to play. Because it's their final tour.
Right, so they can do what they want.
They want to do what they want. And if you look here, like, that's the Angel of Death thing at the very end, like, with Hanneman and all that. Like, it was really cool. They did Angel of Death last and the whole Hanneman thing and all that. Though I got to see them with the pyro, which was great. So like they would like shoot pyro and it would be like upside down crosses like when they would go.
Okay.
And it was just awesome. They opened with Repentless. That's all they played off that record. And if I could have one complaint, if I wanted to pick something to bitch about, they didn't play World Painted Blood, and that's one of my favorite songs.
They've been opening with that one for a while.
I love that song, but whatever. The Slayer was out of this world, and at the very end, Tom Araya came out and was like, thank you very much for following us all these years. Thank you so much, and we'll miss you guys. And left the stage, and it was cool.
Interesting. I still wonder if they're still going to play random shows every now and then, if they're just not going to tour.
Yeah, I think they're going to be.
I'm almost sure that
they might do a couple random, like Black Sabbath, for example. Like they're going to be playing the Olympics in Birmingham.
I would bet.
Well, supposedly.
I would bet anything that they will play again after this tour is over.
Yeah.
They just probably won't do like a North American, European, whatever.
I don't think they're going to tour. I think they'll do a show or two.
I think they will do a show.
Really?
Or two. Yeah.
This is actually the first show, too, guys, that I didn't buy any merch in. Nothing that I just had to have.
Was it just nothing was good?
I mean, there was stuff that was good, but I wasn't into. Like, there was a blue Testament shirt that said "Into the Pit 30th Anniversary."
Ooh, wow.
I almost bought that, but I just didn't. And then The Slayer shirts were cool because they had, you know, all the bands on them, but then like at the bottom, like near the crotch, there was like Testament and Anthrax, but then like Lamb of God was up here, and I was like, nah, I don't want it. If there was like a cool shirt that was like Final Tour, you know, maybe, but I wasn't into it, and that's okay. You know, I didn't need to. I got too many shirts as it is.
I do too.
Guys, I want to get into something a little bit somber before we get into the news. You know, Vinnie Paul passed away here recently, and while I have gone on record saying I'm not a huge Pantera fan, Vinnie Paul was a hell of a drummer.
Yeah.
And again, Hell Yeah was a decent band. I didn't really care for their music too much, but
yeah.
Vinnie Paul was a really nice dude. I know a lot of people, you know, who have met him, Mike Osborne and Michael Russo. A lot of people have been able to meet him and hang out with him, and he's such a nice dude.
Definitely being just, well, he was 50-something.
Yeah, he was 54. He died in his sleep from a major heart attack.
What a horrible young age to die.
But, you know, he died in the best way. He died in his sleep. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I guess, the best way to go. But, I mean...
He was young.
Way too young to go.
Yeah.
Way too young to go.
Yeah. He's also going to be buried in a Kiss coffin just like his brother Dimebag Darrell, too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Them being Kiss fans and shit. But, yeah, I mean, up to you. You know, here's to you, Vinnie Paul and, you know, and Rex and Phil, the only two members now alive from Pantera. As far as I know, I don't know if they had members before that. Like I said, I don't know shit about Pantera.
Nobody gives a shit about, you know, what happened before that.
See, nobody gives Rex his due. The bassist, I mean, he was kind of the rock. He was kind of the rock for that band, Pantera. I know enough to know that Rex was a big part in Pantera, and no one gives Rex his due. Another thing I want to talk about. We'll talk about it after we get to some news, guys. There's a couple guys I want to talk about that are very underrated that people do not give their due. One of them being J.K. Lee, the guitarist that replaced Randy Rhoads after his death with Ozzy Osbourne. But we're gonna get to that in a minute. Let's get on some news real quick. What do we have here?
What do you want to go into? There's not a lot to go into. This was something that I thought was very interesting here, where David Ellison from Megadeth is saying that Spotify is extremely unfair to the way that they pay their artists, which is something that I've been hearing about for a long time, where, you know, $10 a month, you have access to every album, almost. I would say like 90% of every album.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that's not on there. I have some albums that are not on.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that.
Yeah, I have some stuff that's not on.
I have Diamond Head Lightning to the Nations. That's
there's a good bit of stuff, but for the most part, you got 90% of every album that's ever been released ever in the recorded history of man on there for $10 a month, and these guys are getting pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
For us listening to that, and a lot of people, it's not just David Ellison, are saying this is unfair. So, what do you think about this?
Well,
to me, I would say to me, I would probably pay $30 a month for Spotify. 30, if not $50 a month, because it's such a fabulous service. Because you can think about Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and all that, but they don't have every movie that's ever been made. They got some good movies. Spotify literally has almost every album that's ever been produced on there at your fingertips. For $10 a month is the best $10 a month you can ever spend your whole life.
Well, let me say this. I will say that. Do you know how much it costs for a band to get on Spotify?
No, from what I understand, Spotify doesn't have a way that you actually get on there. They choose you. You don't come to them.
No.
That's not true?
That is not true, because there's bands on, you know, local bands around here, like Soda City, Alert the Media,
I figured Spotify just chose them.
You pay $99 to get on Spotify. This is coming from, and...
Really?
Correct me if I'm wrong, this is what I was told by someone. I don't want to name him out in case you know, it's bullshit.
Yeah. So
but I have heard from someone down here in the scene that you pay $99 to get on, and you go through a thing called CD Baby that puts your shit on. Well, you know what? Maybe now that I'm thinking about it, now that I was about to say it, I think you pay CD Baby the $99. They put it on Spotify, iTunes, and all that shit. I think that's how it happens. Now that I'm thinking about it.
So you have to go through a third party that will
and they'll
entice Spotify to put you on there.
I don't know if they'll entice them, but I mean, they just...
Because I heard there is no door.
These people that were talking to me said they did that and then their shit was just on there. They didn't get it. Yeah. But it was like the next day kind of shit.
Interesting.
So, I mean, I could be wrong. They could, I might have misunderstood them. I'm not saying that is fact.
Never recuperate that $99 that
a few of the bands have, and again, I'm not going to say names, but a few of the bands have. They said they get a check from Spotify every now and again.
Right.
But what I do sometimes for local bands, and again, I'm not saying names because I don't do it for all of them, but the bands that I really like, I'll play their album on Spotify, and I'll just put it on mute and go to sleep. So you play their record, it gets
just so they'll
get something. Hopefully, they'll get something.
It's like a fraction of a fraction of a
yeah,
fraction.
So I'll do that.
So
I sleep for maybe like 6 or 7 hours. That record's been played for 6 or 7 hours. It's got to do something, maybe a little something.
But in Spotify's defense, I heard way before Spotify came out that say a band would come out, their CD would be on the shelf at whatever store, it'd be $15. You would purchase said CD. That band would get 10 cents.
Yeah.
So even if you are listening to Spotify over and over and they're getting fractions of pennies, and you listen to it several times, maybe they will get that same 10 cents.
The other thing that I'm gonna say is like, I mean, David. I love this song, Quicksand Jesus. But David Ellefson. I mean. Do you really need the Spotify money right now? I think you're doing all right.
I mean, without the Spotify money, then what is there? There's people. There's the 5,000 people who bought your CD, which I'm not one of them. I listened to it on Spotify.
What, Dystovia? I bought the record.
I did not. I listened to it on Spotify a million times, so they maybe got the 10 cents from me. But I mean, what else? Like, if you're not, because before
touring.
Exactly, that's what it is now. It's touring. It's merchandising. It's touring. That's
plus David Ellefson owns a record label and
a coffee shop.
And a coffee shop, and he has his own bass rigs, and
right. So Megadeth is that one exception where they've been, they've been in the game so long that
this is just like
But imagine like a new band that just came out 5 years ago.
That's what I'm going to say. That's the difference between Megadeth and we'll say Soda City Riot. I can understand them saying, "Oh man, we haven't, not they have or they have not," but he's like, "Oh man, we haven't got our $99 back." They're the ones that should be bitching, and they're not because they don't give a fuck. But David Ellefson, he'll be all right.
He'll be all right, but yeah,
I think he'll survive. This isn't like Napster. This isn't
No, it's definitely not Napster because
we pay money.
Spotify's legal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bands actually, the record companies actually have to sign up for it. With Napster, it was just it was a free for all. But it's an interesting topic. But I've always thought that bands were not compensated enough for Spotify. I always thought Spotify was way too cheap. For what it gives. And with that being said, I don't want to pay more than $10 a month for it.
But you would pay up to $30?
I would pay. I would pay $50.
I would pay up to $30 if I knew that more of it was going to the bands.
Right.
Which, how would we know that? But you never know.
I guess the bands would have to tell us that we're getting a good chunk of money for this. But
let's move on.
Yeah.
I want to move on to a news topic that I was kind of dancing around and kind of researching it a little bit. Dennis Wilcock, the second lead singer for Iron Maiden, is suing Iron Maiden for writing credits. This has already happened with Hallowed Be Thy Name, which is settled, and it was also settled with the Nomad off Brave New World. However, now,
which by settled, they actually had to pay money.
They paid money to.
It was not dismissed. So maybe
I don't think it was I don't think it was not dismissed, but I think Steve just paid him so they could play it live.
To get it over.
Yes.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine
here's my thing.
Imagine if you wrote a song and then someone's like, "No, I wrote that song." You no, this guy did not write this song.
And the guy's, "I'll just pay it."
Yeah, and then you're just like, "Well, I'm just gonna pay the guy." Like, I would die on that hill.
Yeah.
I would totally die on.
Would you not take the money?
No, I'm just saying, like, if I had wrote the song.
Oh,
like, if I had wrote the song and then some Joe Schmo comes up and be like, "No, you stole that from me," and I'm like, "No, you didn't." That's something where I would die on that hill.
Well, Steve Harris wanted to be able to play Hallowed Be Thy Name for the Legacy of the Beast tour, and I get it. He had the money. I forgot what he paid him. I think it was like 40 something for. There was a 4 in there. Either way, let's talk about Dennis Wilcock. suing for rights to The Prowler, Running Free, a lot of these songs off the first record. Let's talk a little bit about the history of Maiden. Maiden formed in '76. They got their first lead singer, Paul Day, who was a great singer but not a great showman. Then they got Dennis Wilcock, who was a terrific showman, shitty singer. From what I have understood, he didn't, and this is coming from documentaries that I've watched, books that I've read, people around Dennis Wilcock that was in the band, Dennis Stratton, before Adrian Smith, Dave Murray, they have all said Dennis Wilcock didn't write a thing. They've all had that same consensus. So even people that are not in the band anymore. So I don't really know. I mean, it could be true. I'm not going to say nothing is impossible. I mean, Steve could have just said, no, those are my songs now. Because he did have a little bit of bad blood with Dennis. Dennis Wilcock was ridiculous, though. He fired Dave Murray because he didn't like Dave Murray's girlfriend. I mean, just certain shit like that. Dave Murray is one of the best guitarists in heavy metal.
Craziness.
Yeah, so I'm not sure where all this is going to happen. I think I can't remember how much he's suing him for. I don't want to look it up, but I should. But I just
it was a good bit.
It was a lot of money, and it was a couple songs. Like I said, it was Prowler. I know it was Running Free. I can't remember the other ones, man. But you know who I want to hear from? I want to hear from Paul Di'Anno. I want to see what he has to say.
So do you think that Bruce or Steve is just gonna pay the money?
No, I think Steve is gonna hang on to this one because Dennis Wilcock was actually in the band, and one, you wait 40 years to bring it up.
That's my thing with this. Why would you wait this long?
Because he needs the money
to bring it up. You know what I mean?
Maybe it was one of those things where he was like, oh, they can have the songs.
Dude, I'm saying, if I wrote a song and you stole it, I would be in court with you that week. I'd be like, no.
Yeah, you would be in court with me when the record came out. When that record came out in 1980, the first Maiden album.
True. I mean, I suppose maybe I would wait. If your band didn't go anywhere, then it wouldn't matter. But I mean, the minute you showed a smidgen of success,
I was gonna say, that first record. I mean, that's money.
Right.
I don't know. I don't think Steve stole anything from Dennis Wilcock.
This whole thing stinks.
I don't think he stole a damn thing from Dennis Wilcock. Not even almost. Not even almost. So we'll see, but we're gonna keep it updated and see exactly what happens. Speaking of Iron Maiden, I want to point out my friend, our friend Kevin Ellis, posted something on Metal4Metal saying that Loudwire had put out their top 50 best Iron Maiden songs of all time. We're not going to go through the whole 50, but a lot of it is very controversial.
I think it's garbage.
You think the whole thing is garbage?
I think it's all garbage. I'm looking at it right now. 29, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner.
Don't agree with that. That one should be way higher. That one should be way...
Are you serious?
That's top 10.
Are you serious? Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, 29. So we were discussing this, and you're saying that if you were to make a top 50, you would use some kind of algorithm which was based upon the sales and the popularity, blah. If I were to make a top 50, it would be based on my personal opinion of the band, which is a lot of bands I wouldn't be able to do a top 50 because I'm just not super familiar with them. Something like Iron Maiden, I would be able to do a top 50, Metallica, Megadeth, blah, blah.
I thought you were saying before you wouldn't be able to do a top 50.
I mean, I could, but it would not be genuine. Because how could you do 50 songs? That's crazy to me. A top 10 I could do. A top 50 is just, it's not genuine. You just be like, well, 50. Where do you start with 50?
Exactly. That's what I plan on doing.
This would take me 5 months, and after that 5 months, I would change my mind.
You would do 10 songs a month. 5 months.
Yes.
You would just make
I could not do a top 50.
That's not a bad way to do it, actually, making 5 top 10s and then just putting them together.
Sure, anybody could make a top 50, but is it genuine? Is my question.
I think mine will be, because I've been challenged to do Metallica, top 50 Metallica songs, which I plan on doing. The way I'm going to do it is...
Number of the Beast, number 13, Kill Yourself.
What's ahead of that? The Red and the Black? Off Book of Souls?
Wasted Years ahead of Number of the Beast. Kill Yourself.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Kill Yourself. Like this whole list is bullshit. It's all bullshit. Like this is just, and that's why I don't agree with it, because this is just some guy with his opinion, just throwing stuff against the wall and just seeing what's gonna stick.
And here's my thing, and I will hardly be using my opinion. Mine will be mostly objective. We're talking about Metallica. I'm gonna be basing it off songs that get the most popularity during the tour, songs that have sales numbers. Trying to be as objective as I can. At the end of the day, it is my top 50. It will be slightly favoritism towards songs that I really enjoy. But I mean, when you look at the numbers, you gotta look at what is actually their best song, because it doesn't say the top 50 favorite Metallica songs. It'll be the best Metallica song. I can tell you right now, number one is gonna be Master of Puppets. That song, that single has sold more than almost any Metallica single. I mean, that's just the way it goes. Master of Puppets will be probably my number one.
Master of Puppets didn't sell more than Enter Sandman.
Oh no, we talked about this.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just
so Enter Sandman by default. If you're going to choose popularity and sales and all that. Bullshit,
but we also talked about
like everything off the Black album is going to be number one.
We talked about popularity as well, because you even said you would rather want to hear songs pre-Black album, correct?
Because that's my favorite. That's me.
Well, but popularity. Most people would want to hear that too. They're tired of hearing Enter Sandman. Again, you got to look at...
Sure, I mean, I guess it depends on the kind of fan you're talking about.
Well, because you got to look at their tours, that songs that they play during their tour. You got to max that up with how many times they play that song.
Because usually,
in
the songs they play on tour is not what I would want to hear.
Well, but they play deep cuts every now and again. They'll play like
every now and then,
and shit like that.
Yeah.
But Master of Puppets, that's a staple in their fucking tour, and it was even after after '86, which Enter Sandman came out 91. 91. So
or 92 or something like that. I think it's 91.
91 because Countdown was 92.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Black Album was 91.
So anyway, looking back at that, Master, they played after '86, and I'm gonna look this up, but I don't think there wasn't a concert where they didn't play Master of Puppets.
Probably not. I mean, no, I'm pretty sure ever since Master of Puppets came out, they always
same thing with Hallowed Be Thy Name until it was under lawsuit.
The concert we saw, they did not play it. I'm just looking at this album, at this list, dude. I'm just like, The Trooper number 3. I'm like, okay, that's a popular song. I mean, I guess you could make some kind of argument for that. But Passchendaele at number 2. Kill yourself.
I wouldn't put The Trooper at number 3 because the chorus is just oh.
A Trooper is is one of the staples. That is one of the most popular.
Well,
songs.
I'm saying me as favoritism.
Exactly. So how do you do it?
For Iron Maiden, you could Maiden would be harder for me to do because of favoritism. But I would try to be as objective as I can. When you look at Passchendaele, I think the reason it's number 2, I'm hoping, is because when you do the research, Passchendaele, the single, sold a lot for 2003.
But it's not that good of a song.
That's your opinion, though. That's again,
it's just not. Nobody wants to hear Passchendaele.
I would love to hear Passchendaele. I love that. I love that song.
Oh my god! Nobody wants to hear Passchendaele. I don't think there's any song off of Dance of Death that I would want to hear.
Wildest Dreams.
No, if anything,
the title track.
If any new album, I'd like to hear some stuff off Brave New World. If anything, and I think a lot of Iron Maiden fans would agree with me with that. If we had to hear some newer material, seeing them on tour, we'd rather hear Brave New World stuff than anything else. I would
want to hear at least one or two from each record, except X Factor and Virtual.
Nobody wants to hear that.
No one wants to hear that. Brave New World, Dance of Death, I'd love to hear Wildest Dreams, fucking the title track, Passchendaele, oh god.
Everybody loves The Fallen Angel, and they never played it.
Everyone loves Judas, well, no one really knows Judas Be My God exists, but that's song...
That's Fear of the Dark, No, they never play it.
They never play it. They never play Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, they never play Childhood's End.
They did play that off of one of the live CDs I had. It was
they played it.
They have played it, yeah. It was the one where the dude does magic tricks and stuff while they're playing.
Oh, that's okay. Well, they played Judas Be My God during that, but I'm saying
they did.
Yeah,
okay.
But I'm saying everything. when they're not on tour with the Fear of the Dark record, I mean, Rambling Ancient Mariner, everybody loves that song. They don't play that.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things. You know, you gotta try to look at it as objectively as you can. And is everyone gonna agree?
Passchendaele's not number 2. I will die on this hill. Passchendaele, not number 2. I like the song, don't get me wrong. I like Dance of Death. Good album.
But it wouldn't even be in your top 10.
No, my God, no.
I think Passchendaele would be the only. It's not going to be like. I think Passchendaele would be the only one that would be in my top 10 of Maiden songs off that.
I mean, Passchendaele's like number 40 or something. Like just like I could not.
Is that the one song off Dance of Death that you would put on the list?
I mean, it might be. I mean, but I mean, I like Dance of Death.
Let me ask you this: would you put anything off Matter of Life and Death on the list?
No, I hate that album.
Yeah.
No, I do not like that album.
Did you like Book of Souls more than Matter of Life and Death?
A little bit, but
yeah.
I think a lot of Maiden's new albums have just been bleh.
What was the last Maiden album besides Dance of Death and Brave New World that you enjoyed? I mean, Matter of Life and Death.
Fear of the Dark.
Well, I'm saying after that, like if you could think.
None.
None, not at all.
I mean, they're just okay.
The Final Frontier, you don't like that? I like that record.
Okay.
When the Wild Wind Blows was on this list, and I think that song is awesome.
They're okay. I mean, when I listen to them though, it's just okay.
The Final Frontier.
It's
yeah,
okay.
that song's weird, but it's good.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Brave New World's probably like
Brave New World.
That's your favorite record, 2000 and up, because that's my favorite record.
That was where they kind of when Bruce Dickinson came back.
Well, that was the thing too. They had so much hype coming back at that 2000. I think.
But it was a great album.
I think we can. That's what I'm saying. I think we can both agree that it matched the hype because that record was great.
It's amazing.
Brave New World was great.
It's so good.
What did you prefer? Jump on topic here. We're gonna talk about. Did you prefer Death Magnetic over Hardwired?
They're kind of a...
Because I think Death Magnetic is miles better than Hardwired.
I wouldn't say it's miles better, but I mean, I would definitely prefer Death Magnetic.
Even with the Unforgiven 3 and Suicide of Redemption and...
I would say Death Magnetic is the better album, but... Spit Out the Bone is the best song Metallica has made in the last
I can agree to that. I can agree to that. Even better than Broken Beat and Scar.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Because that's my favorite song. I like that. My Apocalypse. Judas Kiss is alright.
No, Broken Beat and Scar is a great song, but I mean...
What was a single off Death Magnetic?
It was...
The Day That
Never
I
Comes,
hate that song.
I like the second half of it.
Love is a 4-letter word.
Yeah,
thanks, James.
When it gets heavy, it's kind of a watered down.
I think it's...
It's almost like they were trying to create another
I
one,
think it's
but
corny.
they just
never spoken here.
Yeah, it's
So I thought it was lame. I remember seeing the video.
I don't want to defend it. I can't. I mean,
I just remember seeing the video that I guess he's an army.
It was like it was in the army. It was like an
army
kind of
chick
thing.
or whatever, and like weird shit. I wasn't into it at all.
No, but if you do not like Spit Out the Bone, you are a poser. You don't like metal, and your opinion is pretty good. And your opinion means nothing.
That's the one song off the record that is. Well, I like Atlas Rise too, but
there's some good songs off of.
The title track was kind of weak to me. Hardwired.
Yeah.
And what was the single off the that other single?
There was a couple singles. There was
Atlas Rise, Moth and Flame. I didn't like that one.
See, I thought that was alright.
The Moth into the Flame. Yeah. And then of course they had their cover of Remember Tomorrow on the deluxe edition.
I like that.
It was alright. It was alright. It was better than I expected.
Yeah, I like it.
Metallica does covers pretty well. I mean, they did a whole album of it. So I mean,
they started out as a cover band.
Yeah, pretty much.
Metallica did it right, where they played obscure shit that nobody knew.
Exactly. Calling
themselves a cover band. You know, they were a cover band, but nobody knew they were.
See, that's the thing too, because when we play shows and we do covers, I like to do covers that nobody wants to play. Rather, we do Running Free and we do Fox on the Run by Sweet.
Weed, yeah.
You heard me say that when we play.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, dude. That. I don't like people that just play the same covers over and over. I talk shit all the time. There are these southern rock bands down here. Sorry if you're that. They play the same fucking thing over and over.
I don't know, dude. I mean, like just in Charleston, like the scene here.
See,
is garbage.
some of the cover bands, like Wreaking Havoc, they play like Mandatory Suicide, they play Peace Sells, they play really good shit. And I mean, like, there's a lot of original music down here that's really, really good. They just, a lot of it is just...
I just don't hear it in the Charleston area. Like, in Charleston, I've been here forever. I've been to a lot of bars with a lot of live music. It's all garbage. Like, there's nothing here that's just popped.
You like Monsters from Outer Space?
They're good, but they're not fantastic.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not life-changing.
I think a lot of the bands that... I mean, I don't think any band really is going to be life-changing at this point in our lives. But...
I like to think positive and think maybe there's something else out there.
No, I mean, I discover new music, but it's never...
No, I mean, like, but just how I was saying, like, going to... going to... what's that place? Ground Zero in Spartanburg.
Oh.
Those guys host real metal bands.
Yeah.
Like, how great would that be to just have real, like, death metal, death thrash, just these different kind of bands are here. In Charleston, we don't have that.
In Charleston, all we have is punk. That's all we have is punk. I can definitely agree with that.
And that's why I just can't go out to these local bands, because I just don't give a shit about the local punk scene here. I just don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. Like, I
care. I really care about the...
I think they're nice people.
Well,
the punk bands. They're great guys, but just in terms of going to see them playing their punk shit, just no. I'd rather just have a beer with you at the bar and just talk about music instead of hearing you play your music.
Yeah.
But they are nice people, though.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy the music. I care. I do care about the scene a lot. I don't think I would have met as many people as I have, as many of fantastic people that I have, if I didn't start doing those interviews and all that noise. You know, I mean, that was to me. The music wasn't quite life-changing, because, again, I'm not going to find anything at this point, hopefully. I mean, I might, I hope I will, that is crazy life-changing, but the interviews and the people that I've met, that's life-changing, I will say. I mean, God, you know, Soda City Riot, Alert the Media, I bought my house from that guy. I mean, you know, Hail Bop, you know, life-changing people, friends.
It's more the actual individuals have changed your life
now, if
than the music has.
Oh yeah, I mean but that would be for anything. You know, this new band, Soyutana, you know, ASG. I mean, unless there's a new Iron Maiden, so skipping around, you know, over there, I don't think.
Well, I guess it's just for me. You know, when I listen to music, it's usually the music that changes my life. Like, wow, this is an album that. It's going to be in my head forever.
And I can agree to that.
But I've never, you know, I've met Dave Mustaine, I've met John Schaefer, I've met a lot of people.
Meeting Chuck Billy didn't change your life a little bit?
No. I mean, because we didn't go hang out. I just shook his hand or whatever. I'm just like, I love you, and left.
Meeting Joseph Michael changed my life a little bit. And doing
that was cool.
The whole experience of, you know, leading up to it and finally doing it, and then after we're done, like that was life-changing to me.
I mean, I'm glad you had that, but I mean, no, for me, I mean, it was just like, that was cool.
Yeah.
But it didn't change my life. I mean, I guess, like, if I lived with John Schaefer and, like, he took me out and took me under his wing and we hung out and he taught me things, I mean, I guess...
Oh, your expectations are way too
I guess
high.
that would change my life, but just, no, spending like 30 minutes with someone
I wasn't.
change my life.
I always thought just Chuck Billy was one of your heroes, and meeting
he is, and just meeting him was cool, but I mean, like, he didn't give me...
You don't go back to that little childhood moment where you said, when they were like, oh, let's line up for pictures, and you're like, ooh, I'm gonna get next to Chuck. The excitement in your face, you don't go back to that.
I felt like a little kid at a Britney Spears concert. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, it was great, but I mean, it didn't change my
Is there
life.
anything that was that moment that you can relate to in your life, like anything else?
No.
Then that was kind of life-changing, right? Because you had that.
I had it, but I mean, it didn't like change me as a person.
Right, but it didn't change it to per. But it definitely changed your.
I'd say like the first time I listened to like Rust in Peace, just listening to that album changed me more than shaking Dave Mustaine's hand. You know.
But there's nothing else that takes you back to that feeling of like, oh, I'm gonna get next to Chuck.
No, not really.
Then that's special.
I guess.
You see what I'm saying?
It was a good time.
It was an awesome time.
It was a great time.
But you see what I'm saying though? You see what I'm going with?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good time, but it's just... it's the music more than meeting the people. To me,
If Iced Earth would have played
like I
the
would
Something Wicked trilogy,
no,
would
I'd
that
say like I would have rather if I had the choice of either meeting John Schaefer or them playing the entire Night of the Storm Rider album, I would rather them play the entire Night of the Storm Rider album and never just meet John Schaefer.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely because I mean me meeting John Schaefer, it was just me talking to him about shit that I already knew. Like I was just like
Except for the Blind Guardian shit.
Yeah, well, he was just like, yeah, we're working on
Yeah, we're doing
just,
stuff.
We're doing stuff. Maybe it'll come out, maybe it won't, whatever. But I mean, I would still
Spit in your face, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, I would still rather just hear the whole Night of the Storm Rider album because that album changed my life. Meeting John Schaefer in person didn't change my life.
So if you would have heard that record live, it would have changed your life.
That would have been amazing.
That would have changed your life.
It would have been up there. It would have been better than just.
Would it have been better than hearing the entire Rust in Peace record live?
No, that was a good day. Though. That was a good.
That was
day.
at the Orange Peel, right?
That was the Orange Peel.
We're gonna go ahead and sign off here because we got a long video here.
My
but
God.
That's the thing, man. I mean, we enjoy these metal ramblings. We're gonna be probably doing these a little bit more often. So sorry. But again, thank you guys so much for joining us. We do have Metal4Metal t-shirts for sale. The new ones with the red lettering. Thank you, Bad Cat Printing. Jacob Clovis from Red and Nosferatu for hooking us up with that. And Nosferatu is badass. Can't wait for you guys to be coming to. I think you guys are coming to Asheville with the Jasons. I can't wait for that. It's gonna be very nice. So again, thank you guys so much for your support. And again, I'm PG Steven. That's Dennis Parker. And we will see you guys next week for some more Metal4Metal.
Tracks, yellow card on my own, got my face like